Hello and welcome to Soft Sports TV. My name is Sasepi, and before I start the program, I just want to thank all of you who have been following Soft Sports TV. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you. And just to clarify something, we have been having some issues with our Facebook page, but we are really trying our best to resolve the issue and get the page back as soon as possible. Okay, and we also have plans to get our TikTok channel running, so look out. Soft Sports is going to be on TikTok very soon. Okay, now let's go down to today's business. Now, there's so many things to talk about, but I just have to try my best to narrow it down as much as I can. Now, let's talk about Nigeria's exit from the African Cup of Nations, one of the most prestigious sporting events in the world. So, the Super Eagles of Nigeria were eliminated by the Eagles of Tunisia after a 1-0 defeat. Commiserations to the Nigerian fans, especially Rio Ferdinand, because I saw your tweet. I did see your tweet. You were supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and congratulations to the Tunisians. A well-deserved victory. Congratulations. Now, after the game, we saw a lot of reactions. Now, if you don't know anything about Nigerians, you should know one thing: they are very emotional people, and football is one of the sources of joy that Nigeria as a country has, and it helps the people a lot. But seeing Nigerians lose yesterday was, it was like a black day for the nation last night, and it's still like still a bit sad till today. So we had lots of reactions from Nigerians, and it wasn't a good reaction. I tell you, not a good reaction from any Nigerian yesterday. But we had a space on Twitter. If you don't know what a space is something like a conference where you have people of like minds just come together and then give their say on something, any issue in general. So yeah, and we had this space on Twitter last night, which was hosted by one of the veterans in journalism in Nigeria. I'm talking about Emeka Calvin. So he hosted this space, and this space had the likes of Leon Balogun, who is a Super Eagles player, although he wasn't part of the AFCON because he had some issues, like I think injury. That's why he wasn't part of the AFCON. So Leon Balogun was there. Aziza Toshawala, who plays for the Barcelona female team, she was also a part of it, and a host of others. So there were a lot of things said. A lot of things were said, but one thing that I picked out was Leon Balogun talking about players being abused. I wouldn't say criticized, because every professional can accept criticism to a great extent, but when it comes to abuse, like insult, I don't think any human being deserves that. Okay, so our players, I'm saying our players because I'm Nigerian, in case you don't know. So Maduka Okoye, the goalkeeper, Alex Iwobi, and some other players, they were actually targeted after the defeat, and it wasn't a good thing. So I'll just play a little bit of um, the conversations that happened, from the space on Twitter. So just listen to this, and then I'll give you more about my opinion. All right. So let's just hear. I think you hear from Leon Balogun and some others. That loads of the stuff that people write comes from a place where you're like, okay, you know what? Those people are maybe not really experts, and that's me being very friendly. It's loads of emotions in there. You know how many times I read, I am the Nigerian Sergio Ramos, or I'm better than Sergio Ramos. You know how many times. How did that make you feel when you read that? I had to laugh. You laughed. Well, you didn't think you were that level? Because if I would be like Sergio Ramos or better than Sergio Ramos, don't you think I would have played for Real Madrid? But you could also think, okay, I could be like Sergio Ramos. Why don't I push harder? Why don't I? Because you are still realistic. That's the point. And that's the only reason I came on here, because I need to put some perspective from somebody on the inside into all of your brains, because no player, you can get carried away if you get loads of nice reviews, but you would not go to comments by supporters and fans on social media to get that kind of approval. If some experts on TV, if managers around the world say something about you like that on TV, that is something that can get to your head. But comments on social media, please.
Please. And then another thing that was said before, I think it was even you, Uncle C. Yes. How do you know that players only? I think the guy was called Babajide. How do you know that the players didn't give it their all? How do you determine that? Because I don't think you can say that. True. But I'm just asking, and then I'm gonna tell you something about it. But I'm just asking, how do you, what type of measures do you have to say, okay, this and that player did not give 100% today. It was only 50, 60, whatever. How do you determine that?
Right, so there you have it. That's just the much I can give you on that space. But if you want to listen to stuff like that, more content like that, you can actually follow Emeka Calvin on Twitter because I think more often he has stuffs like this where you can just have a good listen, and then you can even give your opinions too. So that's it. Now I'm trying to smile, but I'm not actually happy. I'm not happy. I saw some really gruesome things, some really ugly comments by people. I actually engaged in some, you know, battle of words and tweets with some people because I was trying to shut them up because I mean I can't let people just get away with some things, how dare you just come out and then insult people? I understand that you are emotionally, maybe you're down emotionally, you're not happy. For you as a fan not to be happy, have you thought about the player? How, how would they feel? I saw a tweet by one of the official photographers in the AFCON, and he was actually close to the Nigeria bench, and then he was saying something like when Nigeria was losing, the Nigerian defender Chigozie Awaziem, I think he was saying something like, "God, I beg." Now, if you don't know what that means, it's just like someone saying, "God, please." When a Nigerian says, "God, I beg," it tells you like they are at the point of getting a heartbreak, and they just want God to just come from somewhere and intervene. It's at a point where you feel helpless. So these guys are humans, and away from emotions, so many things went wrong. A lot of things went wrong. It was in the middle of this competition, in the middle of a game, I mean at halftime, we saw some officials from I don't know where. They came to the dressing room and they were trying to encourage the players, like motivate the players. Imagine you a footballer at halftime, you see some officials coming in suits and then telling you, if you win this game, I'll give you blah blah blah. If you score a goal, I'll give you 10 million naira. If you score a goal, if you win the competition, I'll give you 50 million naira. Now those are actually good promises. They are good things, but you don't do that at halftime. These footballers have to concentrate. Why don't you do that before the competition started? Or why not do that after the competition? They need to focus. And this is a team that was almost depleted. Mind you, Victor Osimhen of Napoli wasn't in that squad. Emmanuel Dennis, even if he hasn't been in the Super Eagles for a long time, but we know he's one of the most informed Nigerian forwards, he wasn't there. Odion Igalo, someone who has a lot of experience, he was the highest goal scorer in the last African Cup of Nations, he wasn't there. The coach was sacked, and just a few days into this tournament, we brought in an interim manager in Augustin Egbavoin. I mean, how many managers can put a team together in that short space to go into the biggest competition in Africa? So many things happened, but you should consider these things. And the fact that the boys, I had someone say, well, maybe it's not there. You can't blame the people for actually having a high expectation because the boys won 3 matches at a stretch. The fact that they did that doesn't mean you should feel as if they have a divine right to beat every team. This is football. We have seen the best team lose. I mean, we saw Manchester City, as good as they were against Chelsea in the Champions League final. They didn't score a goal. They lost. This leads me into saying what I'm about to say now. If you are a parent out there, you have a child who's into sports or into other aspects of life, I think you just have to let them know that sometimes you have to lose. Because the kind of era we are in right now, people get scrutinized for everything they do. Social media is there, you come out, you do something, they criticize you, criticize you. I mean, I'm sorry, I just have to say this because I've got to be brutally honest. I am not happy. This is not one of the analyses I do. This is just me speaking from my heart. Because I feel like people have lost it. People just feel so entitled to going on their phones and then insulting people. How about this? What if we see your job and see what you do and know how well you do your job? Is it everything you do that is perfect? In what you do, in your profession, are you the best? It might sound like I'm talking like a motivational speaker, but I don't care. But are you actually the best in what you do? And even if you are the best in what you do, all fingers are not equal. The fingers, they are not equal. People are different. So I think we just have to stop abusing people. Players score own goals, they make dreadful errors, coaches make mistakes, referees make mistakes. You can constructively criticize people, but you don't have the right to go in there and then insult and abuse people. And some would do this, after all, we're paying them. I mean, do you think people actually go to training to train and go into a tournament just to fail? People want to succeed. I am not a professional athlete, but in my line, whenever I've been given an award, I know the joy I feel. Whenever I win something, whenever I achieve something, I know the fulfillment and the joy I get. So I want to win every day. And so do these players. I'm spending my time talking about this because it's a big issue. It's a really big issue. So if you're listening to me right now and you know you're guilty of this, whenever you see players, footballers or professionals misbehaving, you just go in and you insult them. Come on, think twice. And if you think these guys don't go on social media or they don't have this, they shouldn't take it seriously. I mean, it's just banters, it's just trolls. Yo, everyone is different. Everyone is different. I'll probably do a documentary someday about the repercussions of some of the insults professional footballers get. And then you know how deep this gets. You know how really deep this gets. So please, I understand. Football has to do with emotions, and emotions, they tend to swing up and down, But you need to calm down. Calm down, please, okay? Yeah, I feel like I'm out of things to say for now. But that's just it, okay? That's just what I felt like saying today. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, then you might never get it. Okay, so that's all I have on Soft Sports TV for today. So please keep following us on all our platforms. Like I told you, our Facebook page, we're trying to rectify the issue. We're on Twitter, actively on Instagram, and we are planning to get on TikTok very soon. Alright? And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe because we have loads of content coming your way. Okay? Fantastic sporting content. Alright, guys. So that's all I have for today. My name is Sasepi, and I'm saying peace out.